Hello. Yes, I know. 30 minutes. Long video. But we'll talk about the changes from Cowboy Bebop from the anime to the show. I go into detail and talk about the final episodes. Please bear with it and give it a chance. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I just finished watching Cowboy Bebop Netflix original show right now. And I want to talk about it. I'll be talking about the good, the bad, and the changes. Everything will have spoilers, okay? So just a warning, spoiler alert, everything will be spoilers. Thank you. Let's get right to it. So let's talk about the crew on Netflix. Jet, same character all the way throughout, ex-cop, does not know about Spike's past. Simple. But he teams up with Spike, his best partner and best friend. And then, reluctantly at first, but then accepts Faye as part of the crew. However, we have ex-wife with a new husband and a daughter. Jet's own daughter, by the way. The weird thing is, this new husband of hers is a cop that Jet does not like. Simple, understandable, but it's more of American melodrama than anything in my opinion. The same story for him with the cop who betrayed him and shot his arm. Ergo, he lost the arm. Same exact story. Uday. I'll say Uday, but it's Uday. Uday is also the main culprit who's with the corrupt partner. Nothing else changed besides that. However, the new husband of the wife always joins in most of the bounties and also that episode. Simple. The daughter gives him more of a comedy relief and new factor for Jet, which he never had. And it's kind of good, except they made some more goofy moments for him, which is acceptable, I guess, but it's more a Marvel joke kind of thing. The show had jokes and goofy moments, but not to the extreme, though. The one I know the most is when Spike and Jet are looking for a guy, and out of nowhere, he needs to be at his daughter's recital through a hologram version of himself. So he's like, wait, Spike, I gotta do this. How long will it take? As long as it needs to be. Okay, we get it. So he's sitting down, he holograms himself into the recital, sees his daughters play. It's a play, you know what it is. And as Jet's watching it, he's cheering on his daughter and dancing and all this and saying hi to her. And in real life, you see him doing the same exact movements to a guy in the store. And the guy is nervous about it. He's like, what's going on here? Funny moment, ha ha ha. It feels more like a Marvel joke than anything, but that's how it rolls now. So, with this, he's the same throughout. Not much changes. However, the biggest change is not knowing Spike's past, which I'll leave for Spike's section along with Vision and Julia, which that's a whole different game right there. For Faye, almost the same. She's more badass now. Like she speaks like a sailor. She curses the most throughout the entire show, which is a bit unwarranted, but I guess Netflix wanted to have a more edgy feel to it. Okay, that's fine, American stuff, I guess. That's fine with me, I guess. However, the weird thing is, it's that her past changes a bit more now. So the same story is, doctors wake her up from cryo sleep, they leave her in debt, or something's going on wrong behind the scenes. Except this time, the doctor who she finds in the anime, he gets taken hostage by the eco-terrorists who turn people into monkeys, who are now hate terraformers and turn people into trees. We never see him again, I think, so that's over with. So instead now, he has, Faye, has this new mother figure who said she was Faye's mom when she got woken up. That's new, and it happened in the anime. And she knew all her ways of being a scammer and a con artist through her mom. Which is kind of weird, because instead in the anime, we were told pretty much in the episode, she learned the hard way of life because she was woken up to on purpose just to give people more debt and leaving their own debt behind on those people instead, which is pretty messed up. So the mom finds her and she needs help to not get tracked down by her husband who is trying to kill her. Simple. but it's all a scam to scam Faye, or I don't know. Okay, it's a bit of a mess. It's not the same effect like the original anime. However, I'll say this: the VHS tape is still as good, exact same scene. And yes, they got that very early on in the show. As in, it's towards the end of the anime when you see her past. But in the show, it's near the end of the season. Okay, cool. Big change. What they made bad with Faye is that they made her sound way more better in the anime, but they told us everything. And they showed us only one glimpse of a bounty she got and how much better she is, which is kind of bad. Instead of showing us these little snippets of the past, no, it's just, oh, I did this. No, you didn't, says Spike. Yeah, I did it. And then he finds out it's true, she did it. Okay. But why just show us one glimpse of one bounty? All of them would have been cool. Nothing there. But she's relatable in the sense that she's a bit more rebellious. Remember, in the show, we don't know their ages, but they're all pretty old and older than the anime characters. What I mean by that is that canonically, Spike and Vicious are 27, along with Julia, I think. Faye is like 23 or 25, and Jet is like 35 in the anime. In the show, they're all pretty much 30s and above. As we all know, John Cho is about 50. You know, he fits a character, but you can tell the age at times, and it's like, it's kind of random. Whatever. It's not a big deal, in my opinion. So, overall, Faye gets a love interest, which is pretty cool. Her name is Mel. She's a mechanic for Jet's Bebop ship. But the only issue is the fact that Mel's an interesting character. Pretty cool stuff. And it sounds like she might be in the show later on. Hopefully she returns. She's a good add-on to the crew. But that's speculation for the next season. Who knows? Overall, not bad for Faye. A bit improved on the side. Except for the VHS, which is the same thing, so it's just as good as the anime. Now for Spike, Spiegel, Vicious, and Julia. Same as that character, except he hides his past from Jet and Faye. This is what kind of ruins it for me in the moment. We know Spike is a criminal. We know he's obviously done bad things. We know by the time the anime happens, he's better. He's not a criminal anymore. He does not kill people because he's ordered to do it. He's more reasonable. We know he's a good guy in a sense, good-hearted at least. Outspoken at times, calm, friendly, charismatic. Meanwhile, Vicious is cold-hearted, quiet, lonely, and unlike Spike, he has no friends at all. John Cho does the same thing, so it's not a big deal. Same character except for that part. The thing is, though, it's that Jet in the anime is never bothered by Spike's past if he knows it or does not know it. But the show makes it a big deal that Spike being a criminal really offends Jet all the way. What triggers it is that even though he trusted Spike, one of his tipsters told him that Spike is more than he really is. Oh, he was a criminal, Red Dragon. Oh, what? So I was like, oh, you never told me who you were, what you did, all those skills, ex-army. I never said that. You were a criminal. Okay, so now it's a big fight for no reason. It's melodramatic and we don't need it. The anime never had that. That's where the anime is perfection. It's realistic in the sense that you team with people not knowing their whole story. Because you will tag along in a world where it's betrayal and bad pasts. We'll leave that for a bit. Vicious is now the opposite of who he was. He's outspoken, very loud, a whiner, and a loser. He gets his ass kicked or joked around by a lot of people in the show. It's kind of weird. And they show his side of the story, finds out that Spike is alive and wants him dead. Spike finds him in an episode finale and snipes him, but fails because of bulletproof glass. And the thing that's kind of annoying is the fact that they refer to Spike as fearless. Fearless and vicious. So that's weird. Spike's name is always Spike's name in the anime, but okay, new identity, as the show says. Weird stuff. We'll take it as it is. Julia, who was as capable, strong, and a hard ass in terms of kicking ass, in the anime is now Vicious's wife, kind of by force, and she becomes this villain for the next part of the show, the season 2, I guess. Big twist, by the way. It's unexpected, weird, but whatever. The issue is the fact that they changed everything about why Spike left the Red Dragon Syndicate. So we get shown in episode 9 what happened. They were best buddies, they were cleaners, they were hitmen for the Red Dragon. It turns out that Vicious's dad is actually the main leader of the syndicate, along with the other two leaders, but he's the main guy. And they hate him for being a dumb idiot. Because he messes up, he's a bloodlust guy. He's a total wacko in the anime, but he is evil, cold-blooded, with no remorse. The show has him as very expressive. He's always angry, always shouting because it's not his way. It's kind of annoying because it's not the opposite of Spike. That's what Vicious makes him deadly in the anime. He's the exact opposite. That he has no nonsense in his words, no charisma. He just does what he wants, and that's it. No remorse. But now he's a whimpering loser. I don't know why they did that. So the big twist, half of the show is the Bebop crew, the other half is a Vicious crew. The Vicious storyline is the same thing. He wants to be the leader of the syndicate, and he kills the elders. Except in the show, there's more to it. He teams up with two people, Mao and Santiago, like a foil to Jet and Faye. And they all team up, quote unquote, to take out the elders and become the new elders, the leaders. So they all want to twist this whole thing and betray Vicious because they know he's a loose cannon and a terrible guy. And that's where they fail, because Vicious will get his own way. We see throughout the entire season that Vicious is a whiny crybaby loser who just cannot lose, or he's a loose cannon. At the end of it, the same thing happens like in the anime. He's going to be executed by the elders. Mao and Santiago are there to execute him because they told him, oh, we found out he wants to betray you guys. As tradition says, we gotta kill off Vicious with his own weapon. So Mao gets a sword, chops off Vicious's head, except it turns out Santiago was face changed with Vicious, and Vicious face changed with Santiago. So, oh no, you killed the wrong guy. Then Vicious gets a sword from Mao and he just kills everyone in the room. Big change, but similar in style, I guess. And it was all because he hates his dad, because his dad never liked him. Which will lead into Julia's side of the story. Vicious's story is as big as Julia's, where they're both important for a completely different reason. What the Netflix show gets wrong is the fact that the anime had her only appear in the last 2 episodes, besides the flashback scenes, which weren't even big either. Julia is a bit weak in this show and then becomes a strong badass out of nowhere too, and for a hatred of Vicious. And later Spike, which is kind of awkward, but okay. So she's actually Vicious's wife, and she begins to hate him when the leaders find out that Vicious sold Red Eye, the drug, without their consent, and they're like, you take from us, we take from you. You gotta kill your wife now. So Vicious reluctantly gets a gun and pulls the trigger. No bullets in it, so it's all a scam to make him fear the leaders. She starts to hate him from this point on. Okay, in the anime, she just hid so she wasn't killed off by Vicious. Simple enough. That's where the show gets it wrong, though. It's the fact that it shows us way too much when you don't need to, and that's what makes Vicious effective. We know everything about Spike. We know nothing about Vicious besides what we were told and what we get shown throughout the episodes. That's awesome. However, Julia wants to betray Vicious and it fails. She told Mao, take out Vicious, beaming his head. And that's where Vicious gets the irony where he cuts off Mao's head and brings it as a trophy. And just burns it up. Okay, pretty cool twist, I guess, the whole Julia being more evil now. So the final episode is based off Ballad of Fallen Angels, which is the first time we meet Vicious. However, instead of trapping Faye to bring out Spike, he gets Jet's daughter. And this is where Jet gets angry at Spike once he finds out that he's really a criminal. He thought he was ex-army. No, he never said anything like that. He's actually ex-criminal. It leads to this huge melodrama that I don't like at all. In the anime, it's implied that he may know or may not know. Same for the rest of the crew. But they all hang out together. They're a family, so that's why they don't want to argue about their past. Because they also do not want to talk about their past. And we, as the audience, only finds out through inner monologues or just through subtle hints. And that's where it keeps it great. But the show ruins it where it gets off and tells us and shows us everything like it's needed. No, that's where the show did not do good in my opinion. It's weird. But okay. So Spike and Jet, they reluctantly team up at the last minute to fight off Vicious, and they kill off the entire Red Dragon crew against him. But turns out it's a trap. Vicious, which is hologram, which they love doing. I don't know why they love doing this hologram crap throughout the entire show. It's kind of weird. It's more advanced, I guess, but it's just weird. Very convenient for plot twists. Yeah. And they both get captured either way because they were backups. I was like, okay, makes sense. So now Spike and Vicious are not going to fight like they did in the anime. Instead, they're both captured and about to be executed. For some reason, take over hours before anyone else knows about him anymore. It's nonsense. It makes no sense. They captured Jet and Spike, but they don't kill him off. Okay. At the last minute, Faye comes in with her own ship and kills everyone, or at least most of them. Vicious, along with Shin and Lin, don't die. Instead, they go upstairs. So they get out of the church, like in the anime. Oh wait, that didn't happen in the anime. Whoops. Instead of Spike being a badass and fighting off everyone by himself, Faye does it herself with her ship. And that's where the famous line, everyone knows, welcome to the ouch, is spoken. I don't know who approved that, but okay. So, Jet with his daughter leave with Faye. He goes back to the church to fight off Vicious. He kills Shin and Lin, who are brother and sister compared to the brothers in the anime. And they were no good things to Shin or Lin at all. They were just villains too. And he fights Vicious like the anime. Some of the dialogue change, but they keep the same pose and those same lines of, I bled out all that blood already. Then why aren't you already dead? Same exact stuff. Bullet, sword, wounded. Vicious holds Spike at gunpoint. And he gets shot instead. Julia shot Vicious. Plot twist. Julia is surprised that Spike is alive. She was told this by Anna. Completely different from the anime Anna, who's more of a friend to Spike, Julia, and Vicious, and Mao, but not. she's a nightclub owner and famous connections, you know the drill, that kind of stuff. It's very noir-esque in a way. They made noir Bebop. It's kind of weird. But she confirms it's true that he's alive, and she hates him for it, that he didn't save her from Vicious. And that's why she forces Spike to shoot and kill Vicious, or else. He can't do it, and that's where Julia shoots Spike off the glass, like in the anime, Vicious threw Spike through the glass stained window. The big difference is that there was no grenade. So he just falls down. Vicious is caught by Julia and kept prisoner. Jet despises Spike. And unfortunately for Jet, very unfortunate for Jet, his daughter doesn't even care for him at this point anymore. At least when we saw, she cries for her mommy and her new dad, stepdad, and doesn't even look at Jet. It's pretty messed up, and that's horrible. I mean, like I said, their lives are crap by the time we see them. We just don't know it. We learn along the way. But Jet gets the worst, and that's messed up, man. So Jet hates Spike. And as Spike goes by all weak and wounded and bleeding, he's like, I'll kill you next time I see you. So, okay, we know he hates him. Typical melodrama, like in buddy cop films, you know. Faye leaves to find out more about her past, which never happened in the anime, so that's brand new also. And Jet is pretty much heartbroken because he has no family and no new family either. Spike is walking along the alley. He falls down. The famous shared Twitter video of Ed popping out. That's it. And that's the end. So now the biggest twist is that Julia is the main leader and sole leader of the Red Dragon. So now we're lost as anime fans as to what will happen next. Big plot twist. But will it turn out well? I don't know. Will the show be completely different? Possibly. We can only hope and see what happens and it's done well in the future, right? The biggest change of all is Spike's past. Episode 9 of the show is an entire flashback episode of Spike and Vicious. They're both best buddies who take out this one lawyer who's gonna spill the beans on the Red Dragon. So they kill the guy, go to a nightclub, talk to their current leader, whose name's Stax, and they're like, okay, you got a new job. We need you to do this. Vicious, trying to be all cool, tries to get a drink, like, oh, I'm drinking here with you. No, you're not, says the Stax guy. Go sit over there. He warns Spike. He's kind of a loose cannon. Careful with that guy. He's also the main leader's son, and I gotta take care of him, but it's a pain in the ass, because I'm being watched now by these guys. So yeah, this is a foreshadow. You know, we don't need to know that. But okay. Spike and Vicious do the deal. But it goes wrong, because Vicious, being the cold-blooded person, he just tortures the guy. No one likes that. So they want to eliminate Vicious. And they send Spike to kill him. Spike, being a nice guy, says, nah, I can't do it. You know what, Vicious, buddy? I'll do it for you. I'll go wipe him out. So Spike does that. He wipes out an entire hideout of a rival gang. And the next morning happens. Vicious is drunk out of his ass. His dad wakes him up and fakes a congratulatory message and say, you're a failure, you suck, we know that you take credit for everyone else's work and you sit on your ass. And it's like, Vicious does the job, as we know, because he's a soldier in the anime. He's totally badass, which makes sense in the anime, but in the show there's no background. It's just the fact that his dad is the main leader of the Red Dragon, which kind of lessens his achievements in the anime. So it's more personal than just business in the show. In the anime, it's implied that Spike slept with Julia, ergo Julia cheated on Vicious with Spike. Same thing in the anime as in the show, but it's more gratuitous. I don't know why they implied a lot of sex in that one. There's 3 sex scenes, and they're pretty obvious. I don't know why. The only good thing about them is the fact that they're not Castlevania gratuitous. Is beyond. I don't know why they even did that in Castlevania, but yeah, they're not terrible either. It's just you see some skin. That's it. The show, it's like they wanted to hit Game of Thrones kind of thing. You know, they really want to get all these stories and make it like betrayal and all this stuff. They're really trying hard to make it a serious story, which Bebop, did have, but not to this level. So Vicious pretty much hates Spike, and he plans to kill him. Or, you know the deal. If you go with Spike, I'll kill you both, like in the anime. Except in this one, Vicious goes to the meetup, and he, quote unquote, kills Spike, letting everyone think he's dead. Instead, he gets a new identity by Anna, and his name is actually Fearless, and now he's Spike Spiegel. Throughout the entire show, the biggest thing that's weird is that they call him Fearless in the Syndicate. So the joke is, we got Vicious and we got Fearless. Okay. The anime never had that. It's just Spike and Vicious. And it gets pretty weird at times, because it's a basic word. I know Vicious is also a basic word, but, it's not what you expect for storytelling. And then for 3 years, Julia thought he was dead, but the anime shows they pretty much implied that they both knew they were alive, but did not want to get found by Vicious either, because he hates them both at that point. Weird changes. As a big fan of the anime, if you're a big fan, don't watch it. Maybe you want to catch differences like I did? Sure, but don't watch it. You're expecting something as good as the anime. If you got no idea about it, give it a shot. It's worth a watch or two. It's not bad. But it's not... When you know what the main story is in the anime, it's not the same, You watch it or not, hopefully this video gives you a bit more insight into what happens in the show. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. I'm making another video talking about what the show did not get right overall in theme. So yeah, thank you for watching this long video. I know it's long, but trust me, I thank you for your patience. Have a nice day.